What is up, you absolute stunners? Welcome back to Budget Cars and Bikes and to the 7th motorcycle that we featured and bought and sold this year. Well, we haven't sold this one just yet, but we have bought 7 bikes so far in 2024, and it's only August, so that's what, 1 a month? It's pretty good going. Anyway, this is our newest purchase. If you are interested in finding out a little bit more about this beautiful bike, keep watching and we'll get into it. Alrighty guys, welcome back, as I said, to Budget Cars and Bikes and to the 7th bike of the season, as it were. What have we got? We have got a 2023 MT10 SP. This is the Gen 2, of course, with all the lovely Öhlins tech and the belly pan and a few other little bits that the Gen 1 didn't have. It looks very, very similar, I think you'd have to agree. But I think it's all about the tech with this more so than an upgrade in the looks necessarily. Although I think, looking at an MT10 yesterday, these scoops here are slightly further up, shall we say, than the previous model, and the previous model didn't have these little scoops here as well. I think that's all to do with basically the Euro 5 restrictions. Now, they had to basically put an even bigger cat or another cat on the exhaust system to quieten things down, and they wanted to keep or retain, as it were, the lovely noise of the CP4 engine, the cross-plane crank engine, because it has got a very unique sound, and they didn't want to lose that. So what they've done is they've actually funneled the air up through here, so you do still get a lot of that. It doesn't really appear until around about 5, 6, 7,000 revs, then it really kind of starts to roar. Even with the stock exhaust, it does sound bloody glorious. Personally, I think with the kind of full Acra decal and all the rest of it, it's a little bit too much, because I heard one of those and it's too much for daily use in that respect. It's okay if you want to use it for a half an hour or an hour blast on a Sunday, but you know, if you had to commute or you know, use it for going down the motorway for any kind of length of time, that would soon get pretty bloody tiring. So I'm not going to bother changing that out, although if we go around to this side here, you'll see the cat is bloody enormous. That is probably the biggest catalytic converter I've ever seen on a motorcycle. It is a monster. But there it is. That is the CP4 engine. This particular bike has done 1,360 miles, I believe, something like that, and it arrived about 2 days ago. So what's new on this MT10 compared to the Gen 1? Well, we do get the most up-to-date Öhlins there, the fully active and electronically adjustable front end, as you can see by this glorious gold canister at the rear as well. That is all controlled via this dashboard just up here. Now, if we can get that on, I will quickly show you that. We're not going to get into that too much today. There's the Yamaha logo as it starts up. This is actually a deceptively small screen, because if you watch a lot of reviews, this screen looks like any other kind of bike. But if I just hold 3 fingers up there and hold it against the screen, you'll see it's that basically. That's the screen. The rest of it is taken up here and all around here, which is a bit of a bemusement to me, to be honest, because it looks very much like the Ducati Monster 1200 dash, but they tended to fill out these kind of blank areas here. It's like having a mobile phone with a massive border on it, which is a bit odd, which basically means also you get far too much info in some respects along the top here, because it tells you about the quick shifter, the wheelie control, EBM, whatever that might be. Then you've got your modes here, your power, your traction control, slide control, and your suspension settings here. We've got it in A3 Power 1 Mode A at the moment, full fat version, because spoiler alert, I did take this out yesterday for a quick ride just to get to know it. Slightly different format to what we normally do. Normally I'd kind of walk you around the bike and then, you know, I'd tell you all about it after I've ridden it, but this time I thought I would ride it first, let you know what I think of it after a ride, as it were, from a novice point of view. And well, basically what we're going to do is, in a second, again, change the format. We will take it out for its kind of maiden ride with you guys. Normally I just do a walk around, then we do a ride on the next video, but I'll do all of that in this first video. Then on the second video we can kind of delve slightly more in depth into the MT10 and what I find, what I like, what I don't, you know, that kind of stuff, things that annoy me, things that don't, etc, etc. We may be doing a collaboration with Pyramid Plastics as well to get a new belly pan here, which will be color coded to the tank, which will look bloody awesome, and a rear hugger here as well, same sort of color scheme, and possibly a rear seat cal and something else I can't remember. I think it was the front screen as well. Not sure if that would be overkill. Let me know in the comments about that. But as I said, what we're going to do in a second is jump on this absolute monster beastie beauty of a bike, take you guys for a little ride, and let you know what we think of it. That is a general kind of little little walk around of the bike. It's got a tail tidy that came with the bike, and I don't think it has anything else really to worry about. No, just the tail tidy. As I said, I'm thinking about getting some colour coded stuff like the belly pan and the rear huggers. I think that'll look bloody awesome, and the seat colour as well, because if you can imagine, you're going to have blue and silver and black up here and down here and here and here, and that'll just really follow the line nicely, I think personally. But that's how it arrived a couple of days ago. We have been out. We are going to get you on board now and take you for a little spin. And then after that, I will basically pop back in and let you know my final thoughts. So let's get on. So here we are then on board the mighty Yamaha MT10 SP for 2023. This, as I said, is the Gen 2, the upgraded one, obviously. And we're just about to jump on to a small portion of the A38. If you've been with the channel for a while, you'll know we often pop down here. There's a little dual carriageway. We'll open it up and see what she's like basically on a motorway. I mean, can you ride the MT10 on a motorway? I mean, could you kind of do a little tour on it in that respect? Could you commute on it? So there we are then at 69 miles an hour. We'll quickly set the cruise control, and there it is, sitting there at 66 miles an hour. I can quite easily just take my hand off the throttle, as you can see, and we'll just cruise along at 66-ish miles an hour on a dual carriageway. The wind is actually a lot better than you think it would be. Bearing in mind it literally has virtually no screen down there. You can obviously get a touring screen for these quite easily. They're probably under 100 quid, I would think. I mean, I'm getting a lot of wind noise obviously, but that's because I forgot to put my earplugs in again. I always do. But yeah, I mean, at this kind of miles an hour, if you were going to have to do like 50 miles there, 50 miles back on a touring to work kind of thing, commuting as it were, then yeah, this is fine. There's actually less wind resistance up here than there was on the Harley Davidson, which is lower down. Now you'd think, being that you would be lower down on a Harley Davidson is in the Fat Bob, I'm hoping you've seen the videos we did on that, you'd think that you'd get less wind resistance than being up here like this, but at the same sort of speed, I'm getting far less wind resistance against my chest and against my helmet than I was on the Fat Bob. So yeah, go figure. So yeah, quite easily you could commute to work and back on this. Quite easily you could you could sit on the motorway at 60, 70 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour. The other thing I've noticed as well, which is a pleasant surprise, is because this is the CP4, as in the cross-plane engine, cross-plane crank as it were, it feels completely different at 5,000-6,000 revs. Now we were doing 5,000 revs there or thereabouts, and I did notice there's no vibration through the pegs, there's no vibrations through the handlebars. It feels very much like something like a triple, I'd say. Feels very similar to a Speed Triple 1050 at those kind of speeds, which was really nice because you get this buttery smoothness of the inline 4 with the character, as it were, of the triple engine. So that was a really nice surprise. Generally speaking, sitting on top of the MT10 is a really, really nice place to be. Incredibly comfortable. I mean, you are slightly canted forward on the bars. I mean, I think if I could come back maybe 2 centimeters, something like that, maybe not even that much, it would be slightly more comfortable for me, but that's not to say it's uncomfortable. The seat, however, there has been talk that the seat is a tad uncomfortable, and it's true to say that, as I said, we've been out on this for an hour or so already, and after about an hour, your bum does start to feel the stiffness, the firmness, as it were, of the seat. But that's where the comfort seat comes in, I think. I'm sure that would help a lot, or you could, of course, just take it to an upholsterer and have a gel pad put in there, and that would probably help a lot as well. But for the price you'd pay for that, you'd probably be better off getting the comfort seat, because you can always sell the original seat for, I don't know, 80 quid on eBay anyway, can't you? So what are you looking at, 200-300 quid for the comfort seat? Get 60-70 quid back for the normal seat, so, you know, couple of hundred quid. Depends what your riding's like. I mean, if you're going to be on the bike for more than an hour at a time, as I said, if you're going to be commuting or you want to do longer journeys, then yeah, I think the comfort seat is definitely a must-have. But if you're like me and you just like to go out for a quick blast on a Sunday, then I think you could put up with it. I mean, it's not uncomfortable. It's just, as I said, after about an hour, you do feel it. The switchgear is as chunky as hell. I really do like that, but there's a little bit too much going on the left-hand side of the switchgear, I must admit. I do get a little bit confused there because, as I said, there's so much going on. You've got your cruise control, you've got your high-low beam, you've got your indicators, the horn, the hazard lights, and the mode switch, the pass switch. There's a lot going on the left-hand side. Not so much the right-hand side, you've just got the jog wheel and the start. But like I said, on the left-hand side, it is a little bit busy. So that kind of catches you out a little bit. I mean, I'm forever kind of switching on the cruise control when I'm trying to indicate and vice versa. You know, when you've got a bike that's full of tech, you've got to put it somewhere, I suppose, to be able to control it. But it's just a little observation. The mirrors are absolutely useless. It has to be said. I mean, I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, I've got a marvellous view of my elbow there, my forearm. It's just brilliant. You have to literally kind of go like that to be able to see what's behind you, which is not ideal. So yeah, we're looking at some bar ends, I think, for this. That's the way to go. Or maybe some extenders. You can get the little kind of extenders that fit here and kind of splay them out a little bit more. I don't know, I haven't decided which way to go on that. You know me, I probably won't keep it anyway, so it's pointless talking about it. Well, we are actually in power mode A at the moment, or should I say we're in mode A with power 1, traction control 4, slide control 3, and I've got it on the most comfortable suspension setting, and I think I've got the lift control, as in wheelie control, on level 1, because I don't mind a little bit of wheelie action. Talking of riding fast and wheeling, we will address the RS 1200 speed triple, and there was quite a few people that commented on that video saying, you might as well get a 50cc if you're going to ride like that and test it out. Listen guys, I'm not being funny, but there is a speed limit in England, and I'm not about to start doing 90 miles, 100 miles an hour down an A road just to show you how fast the bike goes. If you don't know how fast the bike goes, maybe you shouldn't be considering buying one. It's fast, the same as this is fast. I don't need to prove that to you. It's a fast bike. I'll rip it backwards at some point and we'll show you how fast, but again, I'm not going to do silly speeds and lose my license just to prove to you what you already know, if that makes sense. Anyway, that's my little rant over with. But suffice to say, it's a quick bike. I started off in mode C or D, I think, which is fine, which is like rain mode, I think. And then on the way back from Plymouth yesterday, I did it in, I think it was mode A, power 2. But today we are, well, full fat, mode A, power 1, but with the traction control on number 4. Again, it's really difficult this time of year, guys, to actually be able to show you, you know, how quick this gets off the mark, because, well, look at it. It's August 2024 in Cornwall. Yeah. There's a lot of tourism. The only place you can really get up to speed is on the motorway, and even there, it can be hard bloody work. But as I said, this is a quick kind of initial ride, just to show you guys what I think of the bike, how it rides, a couple of things I've noticed straight off the bat. Another thing I've noticed as well, while I'm here, is it's quite annoying, is this clutch cable here, the way it goes right over the top of where your power socket is and your key is. Yeah, could we not have kind of designed that slightly better, guys, do you think? I mean, does it have to be here like this? It's just, yeah. It reminds me of the Triumph Scrambler with that bloody great hoop that used to come over, or does come over. It's unnecessary in my mind, and it just kind of destroys the lines down there, which is a bit of a shame. But that's the only kind of negative really for me so far. There's not very many negatives on this bike, scarily so. It sounds incredible, it looks ridiculous, it goes like off a shovel. So yeah, not much to not like. I'm going to try to hang back a little bit, guys, so I can drop down a gear and then open this up just a tad. Of course, we do have a quick shifter, up and down, auto blipper. The quick shifter on this is far better than the RS 1200 in my opinion. Far more smooth, works much better. Got a fuel gauge, of course, and although the dash is tiny, there is a lot going on down there. Too much, again, in my mind, really. There's all sorts going on. I might give you a walkthrough of the dash at some point as well for those guys that are interested, because I could find nothing to tell me how to get through the menus and what they all meant. So if you're interested in that, drop that in the comments. I might make a video on a kind of little tutorial, as it were. And there goes the auto blipper. It's a bit of a clunk going down, but, you know, it's fine. Bloody hell. As I said, guys, that's full fat. Mode A, power 1. Yeah. That's, I mean, I've been riding bikes for 40 years, and that's a bit scary, to be fair. You don't want to be doing that with anything in front of you like I just did, because you catch up to them pretty quick. So yeah, I think we're going to take it a little bit easy until I get to know the bike a little bit better, because that, to be honest, is the first time I've opened it up in full fat mode. As I said, it was a bit freaky. Anyway, that is it for the first ride. Let's get back off, and I'll give you my kind of overview, my first initial impressions, as it were, of the mighty MT10 SP. So what did you think then, guys, as we went along on our first ride, as it were, with you and the camera on the MT10? Were you impressed? Did you agree with anything I said? Did you like the ride? I mean, I love the ride on this bike. I think it's an absolute stunning bike to ride. There are a couple of things I would change, but I don't want to get into that too much in this video, because otherwise it will go on and on and on. But generally speaking, I think it is probably one of the better bikes out there at the moment. It's not cheap though. I mean, these are coming in at £16,000, something along that line. And when you consider the Speed Triple RS is cheaper, although I think this is better. It's a discussion for another video, I think. I'm really going to get in depth into that, what I think, because this is obviously a direct comparison with the RS 1200 Speed Triple from Triumph. And I've had both, so I can give you an honest opinion. Anyway, as I said, if you want to find out more what we do with Pyramid Plastics, if we go down that road, what I find after owning it a couple of months and riding it in anger, then consider subscribing, give this video a like, a share, a thumbs up, all that kind of good stuff. And don't forget to follow us on TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram and Facebook, as well as YouTube, of course, for updates and all that kind of good stuff. From Budget Cars and Bikes, though, that is the 2023 Gen 2 MT10 SP. Whew, it's a bloody mouthful. It is a glorious Sunday here in Cornwall at the beginning of August, so I'm going to jump back on this beautiful bike and go and harass some more people through country villages, as you do on such a bike. All right, guys, as I said, from Budget Cars and Bikes, that is it. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. We'll catch up soon. Ride safe and take care, guys. Thanks for watching.